welcome to another episode of the Squad Podcast. I am your host, Dimitri, and this is my co-host.
What's going on? I'm Mark and Mark. The lag is
lag.
back. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm back.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
Mark and
back.
Mark. I'm back in the building. The lag came back. We was doing good. We had two podcasts in a row and we was doing good.
Now it's back. Today is going to be a special one. It's going to be a really good one. I think it's a great podcast to have. It's the Mount Rushmore of Black superheroes. So we only get four superheroes.
Get four.
Four superheroes for our Rushmore. And if you guys disagree with us, that's perfectly fine. If you think our list is great, that's great too. But these are our opinions, and if you have some, leave them in the comment section below for us, and we will love to hear about Rushmores.
And we also definitely will explain why we picked them. Just give you a little reason why. And, I think we should both have one honorable mention though. Is that fair?
Okay.
Do you think that's fair?
I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
Okay. I think it's fair. I'll just give this little quick overview thing real quick before we start. We came about this idea for this podcast because it's like a thing now. What's your Mount Rushmore best athletes or basketball player, author, directors? So it's been like a thing. And we saw somebody do like their Mount Rushmore black superheroes. And when we saw the list, I think it was like Storm, Black Panther. Who's Blue Marvel. And who was the last one he picked? I can't remember if it was
I can't remember.
Or somebody.
It wasn't Static.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Static.
It wasn't Miles either. Was it Miles? No, it wasn't Miles.
Nah, it was Brother Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo. Did he take it back? Maybe. I think he switched it out with someone else.
He switched it out with someone, but it was in that event. It was somewhere.
It was in there. Yeah.
It was a post we saw on Instagram, so we talked about it amongst ourselves. And you know what? We should share this with our viewers because y'all like family. Yeah, y'all like family, so get that good old Mount Rushmore. And people who are not familiar with the Mount Rushmore term is referring to the actual Mount Rushmore, the four presidents, because they're supposed to be the four greatest presidents in quotations.
Very quotations.
That's where people get the idea from with the Mount Rushmore. Like it's the four greatest in your opinion. And it's always your opinion. That's why when people ask me, it's like, what's your Mount Rushmore? For clear, this is not. We don't think this is like the best of all time. This is our Mount Rushmore. So
exactly.
Yes, just to clarify that, so nobody won't say you said this superhero was better than that. No, we're not.
I'd be like, I think that superhero is better than that one. Okay, fine. I guess the smoke is coming. All right, Marcus. Let's start this. You start this one off with your Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore. So, my Mount Rushmore. The automatic first two for me, and it's probably for I'll say a good 65-70% of us blurs out there. It's gonna be for me Black Panther and Storm. Because and you know what? I always hear people say because Black Panther was the first. It's like, hey, y'all gotta stop saying that. He wasn't the first. It was ones before him, but we won't get too deep into that. But he wasn't the first. He was just the first mainstream.
Yep.
That's all it is, the first mainstream. So it's just his significance of that and the fact that he came onto the scene, giving the Fantastic Four them hands, had his own kingdom, his own tech. So it was all those things about him, even when he first came out. And then it's just how he's grown over the years.
Yeah.
His influence in pop culture, and media, music, like he that dude. And then Storm, Demetrius can attest to this. Storm is just that girl. She is the mutant. Like she is the X-Man or X-Woman, however you want to say it. But it's like she's been a leader of the team. She's an African goddess. Had her relationships with T'Challa, so that unity that they brought together with the X-Men and she's been so important over 50 years now, and it's like she's that staple because she wasn't. Demetrius always says this, and I love when he correct people about this. Everybody goes and says Storm was the first black female. No, Tell him who it was, Demetrius.
Sheesh.
Oh
Call me on the
man,
spot.
I
Call me
set
on
him
the
up.
spot.
I set
You
him
set
up,
me up.
and
You
he
set
went
me
blank
up.
on me, and he's the
I
one who
blanked
told me
out.
this.
I blanked out. My bad. It's been a long week. Misty Night. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
see,
that.
yeah,
Thank
he
you for
knows.
that.
He
Yeah, I do.
knows. I
But
didn't whisper it
hey,
and
you
tell
didn't
him.
whisper. It's like I said, it's been a long week, man. I've been.
Nah, it is because when for Demetrius to go like that, I know he's had a long week because that's usually like his rapid fire answer like, every time. So her and Black Panther both have like that influential kind of thing when it comes to like superheroes. So them two are probably, like I said, on a good 60, 70, 65, 70% of Mount Rushmore of black superheroes. So my next two, it kind of juggle it with the next one because I like both of them, and the movies for both of them came out around the same time. It was hard for the superhero movies at the time, but I've come to a conclusion, and I have to go Blade. But I know I said to you guys, it can switch out with Blade and Spawn.
Yeah.
But, however, I was a Blade fan before I knew about Spawn because of the movie with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And it made me want to get more into like knowing about him in the comics, and then like even finding out that Marvel adapted the movie backstory to the character because before he wasn't a vampire, he was really just a vampire hunter. And when they saw in the 90s, they shifted it to that backstory, and I was like, that's so cool that it influenced it. And then Blade, in the real world, saved the company Marvel. Like the movie Blade saved the company. Literally. If it's no Blade, we don't have an MCU. We don't have a phase 1 through 5. We don't have these video games. Like Blade is what saved Marvel. So his impact alone is just that's Mount Rushmore, you know.
That is Mount Rushmore. Like, you got some good points.
You know, and shout out to Wesley Snipes who portrayed Blade. He is Blade, like he said in Deadpool. It's only one Blade.
And the thing is, like before that, because we only had Blackula before that was more or less like a black vampire. So like it was getting away from that kind of like a more serious like a vampire, black vampire kind of story, and it being officially really a horror because Blackula was a horror, but like it wasn't on the same level. Exactly.
It still had that campiness to it.
Exactly. And in Saving Marvel just the icing on the cake, as you say.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's iconic. That's icon status right there.
Icon status. Can't touch it.
Yeah. So definitely Blade is my number 3. And my number 5 is somebody who I think a lot of people overlook.
Number 5?
My number 4. I said.
Yeah, 5. I was like, wait, you what all?
See? Now Demetrius rubbing off on me, y'all.
Woo!
Man, it has been a week though. He ain't lying about that. But yeah, my number 4 spot is a hero that I think gets overlooked a lot.
Okay.
In a lot of these conversations. And it's really because he came for a generation that's basically our generation. So it don't seem to some people who's like younger than us, it seems like he hasn't been around that long. But for us, we know like the comic book history. But my man John Stewart, the Green Lantern himself, the man, as Demetrius puts it so perfectly, the man who personifies and is what a Green Lantern is. Like all the other Green Lanterns. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and when people think of Green Lantern, they think John Stewart before Hal Jordan most times. Especially when you're like early 2000s kid. You think because you grew up with him with John Stewart instead of Hal Jordan in the JLA run.
I knew about John Stewart before I did Hal Jordan. I thought he was the Green Lantern. So when they was like Hal Jordan, I was like, oh, who the white Green Lantern? I was like, who is this? I was like, who's this guy? I was like, I thought it was just John. And then they introduced the whole Green Lantern Corps. But then I found out comic book wise it was Hal first. But I was like, who is this?
Who
So
is this guy over here? Yeah.
it's like even what he represents as a character, like his background being in the Marines and stuff. Like even with how he was in the Air Force, but it's like with John Stewart, like the background he come like the area he grew up in, his war history and all that, and it's like how he leads a team. He's not afraid to stand up to not only the villains but the heroes in his team. Like he one person who I seen come at Batman and tell him, "Hey man, this is what we gonna do," or "This I don't think this is what we should do." So he just he's that definition of when you're younger and you look for these characters like that strong, like masculine, like black man, but in a positive way. That
Yeah.
and that representation, he's that's what we got when we was younger. And it wasn't, to be honest, it was not a lot. Matter of fact, it was really him, and that was it. We didn't have
Mm-hmm.
many as far as like animation and cartoon characters. So it was him, then Virgil's dad on Static Shock. So that was all. He wasn't a superhero, but he's a good dad. So
Hey, he was a superhero in the community, man. I'll tell you that.
exactly. So I'm like, man, that is that not Mount Rushmore? Because
That,
he really was
yeah,
there for a whole generation. And then on top of that, I always tell people too, when we talking about comic books, if you go back to his first appearance, he was like straight up in your face, like, I'm a black man and I'm proud of it. He said,
yeah,
I
because
wear this is my he said, I'm
he
not a
really ripped
mask.
off his mask. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he had that issue where I think he took off his mask or ripped off his mask
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, and I think he's the only Lantern to actually not have a thingy on their face,
Yeah, him
mask
oh
on their
him
face.
and what's his face? Who's gonna be in the
Uh,
new Superman movie?
Talking about
The bold cut.
Kyle Ryan,
Guy
Guy,
uh
Guy
Guy
Ryder,
Gardner.
Guy
Guy
Gardner.
Gardner. Yeah.
Sorry, guys,
They
like,
don't
I was we were riding
hey,
all
it's
different
okay.
words
We
around it.
helping each other tonight. I just had one, he had one. It's but we
Hey, we're putting the clues together.
hey, see the bounce back?
It's
My boy
tied
is on
in.
point. So
Tied
yeah,
in. There you go.
so definitely, man, John Stewart is the last, not last, but that's that. He's on that Mount Rushmore for me. And for my honorable mention, I would honestly have to go. It was tough because I was gonna say Icon, but I gotta go Static. The Static just got a special place in my heart,
He
man.
just does, man.
And besides the whole point of recently, he hasn't been like handled right when the stories haven't been good. I don't care
Yeah.
about that.
Nah.
Even if it was 20 some years ago and the comics was 30 some years ago, Static is basically was us.
Yeah.
Like me and Demetrius, we saw ourselves in Static. He was a young black nerd at a time when it wasn't like a thing, like it wasn't cool and it wasn't the it thing. When you had to function through high school and figure yourself out. Like when I saw that show and read the comics, I was like, man, I can relate to this. It was finally the superhero we could relate to as far as
Mm-hmm.
like race and as far as like personality. Because of
Yeah.
course we had Spider Man and all that, but it's like they it ain't hitting me the same because it's yeah, Spider Man is this and that, but Spider Man don't look like me. That ain't me.
Representation.
So just that's just a special place in my heart. And the only reason he's not on the Mount Rushmore is because he hasn't carried that weight that the other heroes have over the years, and it's only because he has not been handled right or they haven't treated him his stories right. And it's not the character's fault. It's the whole thing that happened with Milestone and when he went to
Mm-hmm.
DC and then the show animated show got canceled. So he was gone for all those years and it's one of those characters that's been handled poorly and it's so unfortunate because it's a great character. The stories and the background behind how he
Yeah.
got his name, the supporting characters around him, like
Mm,
it's a great story. So that's my honorable mention because Static always gonna hold a special place in my heart. I know Demetrius always say that too. So
yeah.
I'm gonna turn it over to you, my brother. I made my
Oh,
piece. I said what I gotta say.
All right, we got some similarities on our list, okay? Black Panther was one on the list, and Storm is there. But Black Panther is there because not only because of his first initial run and him being not the first, but like being a more popular black superhero at that time. But when his movie came out, he still carried that iconic status of bringing the community together to go see this thing and selling out. And we're going to see it 4 or 5 different times, see the same movie, and just really having that community around it. And his actor actually brought a lot of that weight to it, extra weight to the role as well.
Chadwick Boseman,
Chadwick
R.I.P.
Boseman, yeah, R.I.P. And I'm gonna say something controversial because I just got to throw a little controversy out there.
Go ahead and do it. I like the controversy.
I know people are gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say Black Panther beats Batman like any day of the week. So we're just gonna throw that out there.
Not only he will beat him, he will mollywop him. I'm backing you up on that, brother. He will mollywop him. No way. I don't care if Batman has like a whole week to plan for him. He still ain't touching him, bro.
He's not like he didn't got he just don't got it. But that's a whole nother. I just had to throw a little controversy in there because Mark is a little. See, Mark is nice. Mark is nice when he did his thing. I had to throw a little punch in there real quick.
I like it. I love it.
Set him up. And Storm is on there, but Storm is there honestly because one, she's who I think of besides Wolverine when I think of like X-Men that really handle stuff. She's an Omega level mutant. She controls the weather to where they just worship her as a god.
Talk to me.
I wish she would handle better in her live action role. I think Halle Berry did the best she could.
And I'll just say that's another That's a podcast for another day too, because Halle Berry did. Oh man, you gotta take your hat off to her. Got to.
Yeah.
Got to.
Agreed.
And she even said it. She was like, "I wish I could have brought more to that character," because she said she had did like a lot of research on Storm and stuff. Oh, I'm still pissed about that. But yeah, go ahead. That's another. Like I said, that's another podcast for another day.
And she's led the X-Men at some points in time too. So she's a leader and she's just a powerhouse. So she has to be on the list. And plus, she's not the first, as Marcus said, she's not the first black female superhero. And I said to him, and he said back to me. But when it comes down to it, she's one of the ones you think of when you think of black female characters. Like first one, I can guarantee if you Google it right now,
she's gonna be at the top of the list.
Top of that list. So here's one that I think you're gonna be surprised by. I'm putting Cyborg as my number 3.
I like it though.
Yeah, and the reason I'm putting Cyborg is because think about we were growing up and think about Teen Titans. Cyborg was that guy, okay, in that show. He is probably one of the main reasons why I watched that show.
Me too.
His episodes were so impactful and stuff like that. They were so like here for us and other community. Like the one episode when I think it was like he was talking to a kid who had a prosthetic or whatever like that.
And, I remember that episode.
Yeah, and that was that episode. And then Starfire later on was like, "You understand how?" It was another episode. Take it back. It was another episode where like Starfire was like being like profiled, and he understood how she felt and was able to bring that. And we all understood
the one when he had a chance to become like human again, because he's like human for a day, but he was like, "Nah, this is who I am, man."
Yeah,
dude, that's a great one. And even in the comics now, I think he's one of the first out of the. He's one of the first out of the Titans to join the Justice League, right?
I think he's probably
the only one, right?
Only one, I feel. Yeah, I feel like he's the
as
only
far
one
as we know, because behind in the comics, so we don't know what's going on now.
As far as our information tells us, but I just think any of the powerhouse in the comics, like if it's technology, it's his. No matter what technology it is, he has boom tubes, or I think that's what they call it, where he's able to teleport different things. And I think he gives Brainiac a run for his money. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I've heard that where him and Brainiac are here when it comes to tech and stuff like that. But yeah, I had to put Cyborg on there because I had to I had to
that's a
differentiate
good
list,
one.
but I just
That's a
think
good one.
of Cyborg because when we were growing up, we had John Stewart, we had Cyborg, we had Static. We didn't have. I mean, we had Black Panther and Storm, but we didn't have a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as far as
We
like
had,
something we could watch, like we could go on watch. Yeah, it's so crazy because when I think about it, bro, he he almost has been like around our whole like each like phase of our life, middle school, high school, college, adulthood. That's crazy. Shout out to Cyborg, man. Like I know
Cyborg's
he ain't
that
a real
guy.
person, but shout out to Cyborg,
Cyborg is
man.
he's man, he's that guy, man.
That's a good one, D. That's a good one.
Yeah, I had to shake it up a little bit because I knew our list would be pretty similar. So I was like, let me throw something in there as like a little curveball.
Excited to hear the next one.
You already know the next one. You couldn't put him on your list, so I did. I put Static as number 4. You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to put him there, so I'll put
That's
him
why.
there.
That's why he was my honorable mention because I was like, I know my boy got him on the list.
I put him at 4 for sure. Because one, he he's the most relatable, as you said, but also I feel like Milestones in general needs to be on the Mount Rushmore in general, just because of what they did for representation.
Talk
Not only
to me.
not only for Black representation, but all representation. When you look at the Blood Syndicate and the Milestone verse, like they were in their bag. It sucks that they couldn't keep that going, but they were in their bag when they made Milestone.
Talk to me,
Man,
bro. Talk to me.
hardware.
This why this is my boy right here. This I wonder why this is my dog. That's why. That's
Come
why.
on. Like I said, it would be a dishonor on me if I didn't put him on the list or Milestone is somewhere on that list. Because no matter what you look at the book or the status or whatever it is now, think about what it did for in the 90s. They were putting out characters better than DC and Marvel at the time when it came to representation. And to be frankly honest, those characters are probably better than a lot of them are now when it comes to the care that came down to it.
Just reading that Bible that Dwayne McDuffie came up with for Milestone. It's just because I didn't watch those documentaries and they was talking about it. They was like, man, he had it like fleshed out completely. The whole, not just one character, the whole universe. And I was like, man, shout out to Dwayne McDuffie, R.I.P. I feel like if that dude, if he was still alive today, I think Milestone, when they brought the Milestone characters back, it would have been done totally different.
Oh yeah, he would have tackled it a little different.
And Static would have a show by now.
Like, oh yeah, Static would have gotten a show. He wouldn't have make appearances in Young Justice and not really
have
go
his own
anywhere.
show. Yeah, he would
have
his own show.
Honestly, I wish they would find a way to make animated cinematic universe for like Milestone. Bring like movies or art show or whatever, and have them all connected. That would be cool. Warner Brother, I think you own them or whatever still, or the DC, whoever it is, get on that like today or tomorrow.
Instead of them working on a Jason Todd and Robin movie, whatever that's going to be.
Look, I don't know what that is. That's a whole other conversation because I can rant a little bit about that. But I got my honorable mention, and like I say, my honorable mention is not a surprise. It's Miles for now. It's Miles, honestly, not for now, but it's Miles. I can't think of anybody else who deserves to be an honorable mention besides the person you said, which is my person for number 4.
He could have easily been on my list too. He's considered a newer character. Now my shit's gonna act slow. Really, bro?
It's all those jitters. Okay, but honestly, if I would say, because I hope they do better with, now that we're thinking about legacy characters, I guess you would say, I would love for the new Ironheart show to do good because we need good representation for her in a live action sense. Or, because I know she has some good animated stuff, and I'm not really too familiar with her character, but I think so far I like what she's been putting out. Hopefully she can get on in the same level as like what Miles is handling. Yeah. It came out around the same time.
I was just gonna say it was like right there with each other when they came.
Yeah, and I think her comics are, from what I know, from what I've done research on, they're not bad or anything like that. It's just
it's a good story.
It's just people they don't like when things are changed to establish characters,
especially I say it, especially when the character she come from it's a white male So everybody freaks out because it's a young black woman, and it's not even she's not even his replacement.
She's not. She's got her own thing.
Yeah, so it's like chill out. Like even with this show, they're clearly making it very clear that she's not supposed to be taking Tony's place.
No,
It's
no,
very
she's gonna do
clear.
her own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I was talking to group chat, is like going back to Miles. Miles is he's been handled the best I think now as he'd ever had. His story is really good. Even in the comics, I love his new suit. His suit, the suit he has now that has all these like lines on it. I forget, but it's like red and blue and it has like different linings on it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That suit's tough. Next time we do this, it's not Rushmore. Maybe my thing will be different.
I was just gonna say, I was like, and it's so cool because it could change over time as as we issuing these new heroes that are coming along. Even the ones that are around as their stories get better, like the Monica Rambeaus, the Vixen, Bumblebee, Brother Voodoo, Blue Marvel, Fury. You know, there's so many other characters: Icon, Rocket,
Moon Girl.
Moon Girl. That's why we say it's our Mount Rushmore. This is we think not because it's not to say we let them off because they're not worthy enough. It's just it's a lot of these characters still are new and they still even the older ones they still have time to grow.
Yeah, and get some good stories.
Like you said, we could do this in 3 more years, 2 more years, a year, and it could change. It could be a completely different list. Black Panther could not be the most popular superhero in 2 more years.
Yeah,
change. So that's the thing about it. It's a list that's interchangeable. So it's not like permanent. And we got so much media coming, even with the new DC James Gunn verse. We're gonna get to see a new Cyborg soon because they're doing a Titans movie. So
yeah, we saw Mr. Terrific too, which
with Mr. Terrific. So it's starting to come. And I know I remember I think I said this some years back when we was on the podcast. It's happening, but it's still like a slow burn. It's going.
Yeah.
Still taking that time, but I'd rather have it than not have it. So that's what makes it cool to do lists like this. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. You got anything else, Dimitri?
No, I think you said everything. I think the cool thing about the period of time that we're in right now allude to all the bigger, heavier stuff that's out there in the world or we got to deal with politics. Representation is still flourishing and flowering even in this time period. And I'm glad that we're getting into places where we're getting more characters that are from different walks of life or different areas of we haven't touched. Black characters and black women characters and all these things are getting better writing and stuff like that. I think we're in a good time for representation. Better than we were when we were kids, honestly.
Definitely.
It's projecting like this way. We're going up now. So I think the years to come or decades to come when next generation comes up, they'll have way more than we did. And that's great. And I think we're doing a great job as not only people who are creating it or talking about it, people that are just enjoying it and just celebrating these things. So I think everybody is doing a great job. All these black people that are creating new black characters or writing for characters and stuff like that, I think they're doing a great job in pushing us forward, our characters forward. So keep doing it. We're here. We will talk about it.
I'll say
we'll be here to talk about it. So
we're here to give you your spotlight.
Yeah, we've had plenty of great comics that have been on here, black comic book writers that have been on here that have made a lot of good stuff.
Shout out to Gigi.
Out to them. Yeah, shout out to Gigi for sure.
She's killing it right now.
Queen of horror,
She is killing it right now, man.
Killing it. Going crazy. So, but that's all I got. If you ain't got no more, you don't have anything else, I'm going to close it on up.
You know what time it is, my brother?
It is the promotional.
Hey, my boy. I'm gonna kill that thing real quick.
All right. If you enjoy this podcast and you enjoy seeing our lovely faces, you can Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified of our future videos. Leave us a nice comment about your Mount Rushmore. If you agreed, disagreed, or if you're thinking we're just crazy for putting Cyborg on a list, because I've never seen nobody put Cyborg on a list,
Exactly.
or saying or crazy
Come
for
at
us saying that Black Panther would mollywop Batman.
Oh, I'm ready for those.
No difficulty, by the way. I'm not even saying low. I'm saying no difficulty. I want the smoke.
Oh, what?
To be honest, Batman's superpower is writers, but I'm just gonna be done after that.
Talk to me. You just been on fire tonight. I was thinking it and you said it. Damn it. That's what I'm talking.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here to ruffle a little bit of feathers tonight. I'm here for it. Yeah, like, subscribe, hit follow on all our socials. Our Instagram, never X, never that. We have a Discord. It's in the description. We have a Reddit. It's in the description. I'm sure it's in the description. If not, I will be in the description today. With that being said, I'm your host, Dimitri.
I'm your host, Old Market Mall.
And this has been the Square Round Table Podcast. We are out. Deuces. Peace.